I'm going to hit some balls.
Yeah.
I'm going to do some practice. I might even squeeze a little cheeky lesson in.
Oh, it's too far this now.
And then go and play.
But anyway, speaking of Your 75,
Yes.
people will now be aware we've got a series every Friday on YouTube at 4 p.m. UK time where you go and battle a golf course with the sole objective of beating 75.
Yes.
We don't want to see no 76ers.
Nope.
Definitely don't want to see 86ers.
No.
We want to see 74 or better. We'll take 75. I'll take that.
I'm going to do 12 episodes, 12 different golf courses around the UK. We've done 2 so far. First one was at Marriott with Steve Hindle, shot 77, which was a 6-over, very, very rusty start. And no real excuses. That was just complete rust. Last week, I did it at St Anne's Old Links, so a links golf course.
It worked.
With a guest from the podcast. We had Dan Webster play with me, who is the head pro at St Anne's Old Links. He did. He played nicely. Who is the head pro there, has been there for 29 years. We went out super early in the morning last Tuesday, 7:30 tee off. It was 1 degree Celsius, so 34 degrees Fahrenheit, I think we worked it out at. It was very, very windy.
It was quite mild, personally. It was cold and windy.
It was cold, it was windy, and it didn't go to plan.
Well, you know what was nice for me? I was obviously just walking around. I had a hat, gloves, and a big coat on, but it was still ridiculously cold. It was one of the... I said this to you a few times on the course. For me, and you actually agreed with this, which I was happy about because I thought it sounded a bit weird. When it's wind into the face, and a severe wind into the face, and a cold wind as well, the hole looks longer.
It really does.
It's literally not... It's the same length of hole, but it looks longer. And you had so many shots where you like an iron into the green, and it's a wind into the face, it gets up in the air, the wind just... And straight away, the wind's pushing it, saying, not today, and it's just pushing it off. You were sloppy, I'd say front nine, but hit the ball well.
It was a weird one, wasn't it?
You hit the ball off the tee. I wouldn't say as well as I've ever seen, but I'd say it probably as in play and as consistently just decent. Like, they weren't... The drives you hit, I wouldn't have gone on... I don't think... Maybe 1 or 2, but most of them you wouldn't have hit on launch monitor and been like, that's a beast. But it'd be like, fairway. You hit a couple where you got massively punished.
Which was unlucky, to be fair. That one on 6 when I went in the bush.
Well, that hole, I think... And that's the hole where, again, people will listen to this by now. You went into the bunker and had like essentially 2 air shots. You would never have done that if you hadn't gone in the bush. No. Because in the bush, you called it unplayable and took a penalty. If that hadn't happened, I think you would have called that bunker shot unplayable and took your medicine. But there was no way you could do 2 in 1 hole.
And it was so weird, like... You know, I hit it up the right-hand side on that number 6. So basically, long story short, if you've not watched it yet, definitely go and watch it. But I shot an 82. So it's 10 over par. 75 was the target. That's 3 over par, but I shot 10 over. Now, what's mad, the front nine, I was 12 over par. One of the worst front nines I've ever had in my golfing history in the last few years. Certainly as a professional golfer, I think. And the back nine, I shot 2 under par.
You were good back nine.
Front nine, I found a bunker on number 3, which was a bit unlucky there. I could have played it better, I could have, but I hit a pot bunker shot that didn't get out the lip. I got plugged on the lip. I had to play sideways, chipped it on 2-putted 6, and then that 6 hole when I took an 8 on the par 5. That looks like pushed it slightly right off the tee, but not a horrendous tee shot. I knew I'd missed line, but it wasn't horrendous. Found the bush, had to take a penalty drop, stuck it in green side in 2. Like, think about it without the penalty shot. Like, I could have easily been on that green in 2 putting for a birdie. 4 shots difference.
You know what you've done wrong, I think? The one thing you've done wrong, and this is some actually advice that you give sometimes, and I know why you say this, but you've literally been going to the golf course and not hitting a single shot. And literally on the first tee is, as far as I know, your first swing.
I hit a few looseners on the first one in the net.
Yeah, but
I didn't hit any last week.
And that's the thing. I know what you often say to people. You don't want people to go super, like, go with the range before and do all this stretching and hit loads of putts because it does get in your head too much and you expect too much. There's obviously a balance for each golfer of, like, loosening up and feeling good but not going over the top. But you can't go for an hour drive at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's freezing on the first tee and expect to play good golf.
No. And also, you know what the big thing is? It's not even just body warm up. I don't feel like I'm mentally warmed up, that early in the morning. Because some of the shots I hit just don't have any logic to them. Like, both rounds so far, on the 2 first par 3s that I've played, I've massively underclubbed. And it's almost like I've not taken into consideration it's cold, it's wet, I'm not fully warmed up. And both times I've hit a club that I wouldn't get there in the summer.
That par 3, that first par 3, which was hole 3, I did think at the time that was a strange club. Did you at your 54 or something?
52,
52, and it was never going to get there.
It's 148 yards downwind, not downhill, just downwind, pin right at the front.
You got sucked into the flag.
But it scared me the hole before because I thought I played a nice shot there and it landed kind of front edge of the green and ran through the back, and I was like, if I even just land this anywhere near the flag, it's going to go up on that top tier. But you're right, that would have been a much better result than what I actually found myself
Links golf's
doing.
tough.
It is.
Playing on the camera's tough.
I felt definitely a bit of pressure. You know, it feels like I want to just get the first 75, break 75 out of the way, and I think that'll free me up to play much better ones in the future. The next one we're going to play is tomorrow. I'm going to go with a different plan. There's 3 things I'm changing.
Okay.
Number 1,
bringing in Peter Finch to play for you.
That would help. Number 1, we're playing later.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an afternoon tee off tomorrow.
Loads of warming up.
4 p.m. And that's what I'm actually going to do. So I'm going to go down to Highley, which is just down the road. I'm going to hit some balls.
Yeah.
I'm going to do some practice.
Mm-hmm.
I might even squeeze a little cheeky lesson in.
Oh, it's too far this now.
And then go and play.
I think this is either going to pay dividends or you'll be in your head even more. But we've got to try.
So next, Break 75 is coming out next on this Friday.
People have watched it. Oh, no, they won't. Sorry, I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused.
The next one, get ready.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna bring it back.
Good.
I'm not going to change any clubs yet. Do you think I should change any clubs yet?
I might come on to that in a minute because someone has a question about it, so I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But first of all, I've got a dear Rick